Hey, this is Jamie at Useful Knowledge. Well, I just made this batch of homemade buttermilk biscuits using baking soda only as my leavening agent. I did not use baking powder, and you don't need baking powder. So those of you that are concerned about buying baking powder that might have aluminum in it, you don't have to be concerned anymore. You do not need baking powder to make buttermilk biscuits, and I'm going to show you why. And then I'm going to show you how to make the biscuits. And we still use no rolling pin. Okay, to make these buttermilk biscuits, all I use is all-purpose flour, butter, salt, baking soda, and buttermilk. Now, my suggestion on buttermilk, get the good stuff. Okay, I zoomed in here because I want to show you what's in this buttermilk. It's simply cultured milk and salt. Now, this is made by Purity, but be careful because some varieties of buttermilk, some makers, they don't actually use just milk and salt. They put gum in it and other types of things like that. So be careful there. Try to get the good stuff. Now, if that's all they have, it's still going to work in making these biscuits and it's still going to taste great. But I like using just this simply cultured milk and salt for my buttermilk. Okay, I'm going to show you why you don't need baking powder. And all you need is baking soda. So we've got buttermilk here, and buttermilk is acidic. Okay, so I'm going to mix this baking soda in with this buttermilk. And you can see it's already foaming up. So this is mixing together, it's reacting, and it's creating bubbles. That's carbon dioxide. That's what makes your biscuits rise. Not only for biscuits, you can use it for cakes and cornbread if you'd like. But that just goes to show you that you do not need baking powder. All you need is baking soda with buttermilk. Okay, to make these buttermilk biscuits with baking soda only is very easy. First of all, you need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Then you need a teaspoon of baking soda. You need a teaspoon of salt. We're going to mix that up. Just make sure you get that mixed up really well, because next we're going to put our melted butter in there. Okay, in goes our melted butter. And I cut mine in with a pastry knife. You can use a fork. I've used a fork many times in a pinch, but if you got a pastry knife, cut that in with a pastry knife. And you can use 6 to 8 tablespoons of butter. So if you want to use 8, that's a whole stick, obviously. But if you want to use 6 tablespoons, that's fine too. That's what I'm using here, is 6 tablespoons. Some people use a whole stick. Just want to get that butter cut in really well. It only takes just a minute or two. Get most of your big globs out of there and you'll be fine. Okay. Okay, next we're going to add our buttermilk. Now we're going to start out with 1 cup of buttermilk. Alright, make sure you get it all. 1 cup should be plenty. Sometimes it just depends. I don't know if it's the humidity or what. Sometimes I need more. But I always start out with 1. Yep, 1 cup of buttermilk is going to be good. Just going to mix that up really well. Okay, now we've got our buttermilk biscuits mixed up. We're going to put them on a biscuit pan. Now, this is my grandmother's. This one's really old. So what I do, how I was taught, I'm going to put some oil there, okay, and then basically I'm going to spread that around. Now, some people ask, yes, you can use something like Pam if you want to, but I just use regular corn oil. And you can use vegetable oil, whatever you want to use. Okay, now all we're going to do is, I've got a little bit of flour in reserve over here that I'm just going to rub on my hands. And I'm going to get a small amount of biscuit dough. I like to say enough to cover my fingers here, and that's probably about a 2-inch round ball there. And I just mix them up like that. And I'll place that in the middle, and then I will go around after I get 2 in the middle. So there again, I have about a 2-inch ball. Put a little bit more flour around it, and I just kind of knead them up just a little bit, stick them on my pan. Now, you can experiment. Some people like really huge biscuits. Some people like the small ones. It's just however you like the size of your biscuits. But I like mine about that size right there. So, okay, we've got all of our biscuits in this pan. All I'm going to do now is press them down. So I just press them down like that. And now they're going to go in the oven. Okay, just to give you some context, I want to show you how far I press these biscuits down. And then I'm going to show you how much they will rise once we pull them out of the oven. Okay, we're setting them in the oven. My oven's at 425. And these are only going to take about 10 minutes. Okay, I want to show you what they look like. And man, they look great. Okay, we just took these out of the oven. And I just want to show you how much they rose up. They absolutely look incredible, and these really taste incredible. Okay, I want to show you one of these biscuits, how they rose up. I've actually cut into this one, and you can see there was air pockets all in there. And these biscuits are very tender. So all we're going to do now is put a piece of butter on there, cover that up and let that melt. So we hope you gained some useful knowledge on how to make buttermilk biscuits with baking soda without baking powder. Thanks for watching.